Hi, so this week I was in the kindergarten classroom and it was a lot different than the week before when I was in the middle school classroom. So, for example, the class I was in now, in the kindergarten class I was in now, was the lower level kindergarten. So, most of them couldn't say their ABCs, they're still working on that, and they were struggling with recognizing letters and numbers, which I found was difficult to do during my lesson that I got to teach. To fill that gap, I would know, first of all, that my students are on that lower level, and just each grade going up from kindergarten to first, I would keep that in mind, but still hold standards high and reach Common Core. And I would just work with each teacher that I have up until middle school when they can get the proper help they need, if that's going to the resource room more often or having an aide in the classroom for that student. How would I prepare for each level? For the kindergarten level, I would prepare by having the right materials, knowing that I need a lot of hands-on stuff, and understanding that we do need to work and focus on our concepts of the letters and numbers that we're working with. It's makes math really difficult when you can't recognize 1 through 10, which most of our students struggled with. One little girl would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, and then back to 6. So that was a struggle when we were doing projects and counting. When I need to prepare grades and I need to grade differently across the spectrum, I would keep in mind that each student works at their own pace and has their own ability. All students can achieve whatever you're asking, and I truly believe that there is that fine line between pushing them and just being plain mean to where they can't understand and they break down. So with my kindergartners, I would just focus every day getting that you don't go from 5 to 8 back to 6, you go 5, 6, 7, 8. And I just work on those numbers until it got through. And with middle schoolers, I would work on that, knowing the formulas, make cards if we need. And then when it came to like the tests or assess based on the child's work ability and how they have been striving to reach their goal in that. Different grade levels that I've been able to see, like I said, I was with Mr. Jory last week, and this week I just finished up with the kindergarten classroom. Not to lie, the kindergarten classroom is where I felt more comfortable with. I like middle schoolers because you can be more honest with them, and they're just at that different level to where I really like that. But I don't feel comfortable teaching them math. I struggle with it myself, and I still question myself. So being at that kindergarten level where it's more hands-on and you use more objects around the rooms, you count blocks, you take away how many of those blocks. I definitely prefer that. But I did learn on this field experience that middle school is something that I have started considering now. I've always thought that I wouldn't go higher than 3rd grade, but the more I'm around these middle schoolers, just working with them, I really enjoyed listening to their point of views or how something turned out. They had really good stories. I'm really starting to consider that 6th, 7th age group. But like I said, that's a huge jump from kindergarten to 6th and 7th. I'm going to have to really consider and think about how I would fill the gaps for those ages. And like I said, that's just working on each kid's ability and how they see things and on what, as a class, we need to accomplish as a whole. But above all, I really liked my field experience. I enjoyed both. They were both different. And I think each one was a good experience, and I would gladly go back to each classroom again.